Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to add and edit photos to your Corjl design that you've purchased from Orange Blossom Press. So when you order a editable design from Orange Blossom Press, you will receive an email from Corjl with a link to your design. After you've logged in and opened your design, you're going to see something similar to the design we have here, in that where you have the photos that you're going to add, you're going to see this placeholder, the gray placeholder, and it says right on the front, click here to add your photo. So to quickly add a photo to your design, go ahead and click on one of those spaces. We'll click right here, and you're going to see that the replace image button gets highlighted over here on the right. So when we click on the replace image button, you have the option to either drag and drop photos for your design here into this area, or just click on it and browse to a location where your photos are located on your computer. So I've already found the location that my photos are located on my desktop. So let's go ahead and select a photo that we can add to that space. So when you're selecting a photo for a space on your card, it is easier to select one that matches the size and shape of that photo space. So if you have a landscape space, a landscape picture is usually going to fit better there than a portrait picture, for example. So because we have a portrait space here, I'm going to select that photo, and once it's selected, I click Save. So once you click Save, Corjl is going to go ahead and do its little thinking, and you're going to see that that photo has now appeared in that space. Now, this photo doesn't fit perfectly. You can see we've got a little bit of area here on the side in between these frames where it's not fitting. So what I'm going to do to get it to fit, I'm going to come over to the photo and see these little gray dots that are on the photo. I can use those in the corner to click and drag and resize my photo so that it now fits in this spot. And you might have to reposition it a little bit, kind of bring it down. Don't want to cut off anybody's head. But now you can use the little arrow buttons on your keyboard as well to get that photo just where we want it on the card. So now we've gone ahead and positioned that photo there. We can go ahead and add another photo. So let's go ahead and repeat that same process. And this time I'll show you what happens if we select, let's go ahead and select this photo here. It's a good one. We'll go ahead and put that one there. So this time we select a landscape portrait photo because that'll fit in that space, and we're just going to repeat that process. We add the photo and it doesn't exactly fit, so we're going to zoom in on it just a little bit. We can zoom on as much or as little as we want. We can use the cursor to move it around or the arrow keys, and we've got our second photo there. So let's go ahead and do one more, and I will show you. So let's say we don't have any more portrait photos here. We only have landscape photos, and we're trying to fill a portrait space. So I can select a photo. Let's go ahead and choose this one here that doesn't exactly fit in that space. And what will happen is it's going to be sized pretty small so that it can fit the width of this space. But now you can see that I've really got a lot of blank space above and below our photo here. So that's fine. We're just going to do the same thing. We're going to resize our photo and zoom in. And now we've managed to fit that landscape photo in this portrait spot, and it looks really great. So once we've added our photos, we'll continue to do that and making sure that we're coming over here. We can save changes as we go along. I'm going to go ahead and skip this last spot so I can show you how, if you want to do a front and back design. So we've got our front design here. If you want to add photos to the back of the card, show you how to do that. So some of my designs, if we come up to the top where it says page, we can click on it and go to our second page of our design. And here's where on some of my designs you're going to see this note right here. And this note is telling you that the design has two back options. It has one that's pre-designed with a photo already, a photo spot already created there for you. And it also has a third back option that's going to be blank. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here on the third one, and you're going to see here we have our third back option that's just blank. It doesn't have any photos. So some of my designs have this 3-page option where they have the front design and then 2 options for the back. And I'm going to show you the reason for that in just a second. But let's go back to our second page. So once you've read this note, just go ahead and click on it and hit the delete button, or you can come over here to the layers palette and you can find it and hit that little trash can. That's going to get rid of that for you. So same thing as the front, we've got our photo here, and we can just go ahead and replace that with one of our good looking photos of our graduate here, and let that work fix, and there you go. And this time you can see the space, it's not black this time, it's white. Sometimes it'll be a different color depending on how I set up the design, but you're just still going to want to zoom in on that until it fits in that spot, and there we go. So that is how you do with a pre-designed photo. Now let's say you want to, you can either at this point, you can choose this back design to download and print, or if you just want a plain back design with no photos, you come to our third page, you download that, and you can use that to print. But let's say you want to kind of create your own back design. Like let's say you don't really love this one, you want to add multiple photos. So you can come to our blank back design, come over here to the right, and you'll see where it says add new image. So we're going to click on the add new image button, and we'll be able to add photos on our own. So we can add one here. Let's say we want to make a little collage. It's going to go ahead and fill the whole back, but we're going to want to shrink it down because I want to fit a couple of photos here. So we shrink that down, put that kind of up here in the corner, and then come over here to add new image. And let's say we want to add this one right here. So you can also just kind of create your own back design. If you want to add your own collage, we can add that photo there. We could still add another photo here if we wanted, or we can add some text by using the add text box button. You can pretty much create your own little design here on the back of the card if you want, with that blank back option that I provided. So that's how you're going to do it with this particular setup. Now really quick, there are some designs, I'm going to switch over to a different design now. There are some of my designs that when you go to the second page, it only has 2 pages, not 3. So some of my designs, when you click over, you're going to see, here's the back, but there's no third page. So if you want a blank back, I'll show you what you can do. So you do have the option to use this pre-designed back. You can replace the image with any, with a photo, just like we did in the other spot if you want. So I'll show you how that's taking its time. So you can just replace the image just like we were doing with the previous one. You can replace all these images. But let's say you just want a blank back on this card, but there's only 2 pages. It doesn't have a third blank back option. That's not a problem. You just come over here and one by one select these options and delete those photos, and you're going to get your blank back. So you can click on them and hit the delete button. You're going to have to delete the gray placeholder and the shape, whatever color that may be, behind the photo. Or you can come over here to the layers palette, select it, and you can find it over here, and then hit the delete button over in the layers palette, just however you want. So now we've deleted all those photos and you have a blank background that you can either add photos to or just leave it blank if you want a blank back. So that is another option of my photo designs, and it really just depends on the design that you have, whether or not you have the 3 page option or the 2 page option. So hopefully that's helpful. If you guys have any questions while you're designing your cards, please contact me either on Etsy or on email, and I will be happy to help.